In this video, I would like to go over how we can actually clear this form using PHP. It's a very nice little trick. In the previous video, we discovered that our clear button was not able to clear the values from our form. If you look at our HTML source code, we are using input type equals reset. What the reset button does, it resets the form values to their initial state. It doesn't necessarily clear them out, although typically the initial state does not have anything in it. However, if you remember, we used PHP to put the value back into these elements, so that technically that is the initial value. I would also like to draw your attention to the action of the form so you can see how PHP is generating the actual file name and path of that PHP file. If you recall, we used $_server PHP self to generate the code that we see in the view source. And we were able to restore the values into the form by using this PHP code, and you see that indeed those values are here. So unfortunately, we cannot clear this form. Now, you could do that with JavaScript. I will show you a very easy way to do that using PHP. So this is my new form. Before we actually start using it, I would like to show you the source code. What I have done, and it's a little bit of a trick, is I have removed input type equals reset button from the form, and I have actually added a second form. So here's my first form that is processing the data from the two text boxes, and we have one submit button here. And I have added a second form. And in this form, I have an input type equals submit. However, I'm giving it a different name and different value. The button actually says clear the form. It is an input type equals submit. You need to have that type equals submit in order to call the action. You can't do that with any other type of button. And in PHP, the only way that we can actually interact with the server is via a form or a link. Now, both of my forms have the same action. I'm posting both of them back to the same page. So how can I tell which button I'm clicking on? And so remember, we have two forms. They both are using the same action. They both have a type equals submit button. The first form, the button is name equals submit. The second form, we have name equals clear. So here is the source code. I'm initializing all my variables, and I have my isOK equals true statement. And what I'm doing, I'm using the isSet function to determine if I'm clicking the button name equals submit. If I am, I will do all the processing, as we have already seen in the previous video. Now I have a second isSet function using an if to determine if I clicked name equals clear. Notice I have an echo here, and I have an echo in the other one also. So if we clicked the button name equals clear, we are going to clear out all our values. We are technically reloading the page. Because we are not storing any values, everything will automatically be erased. So if we clicked the name equals submit button, we know that we clicked we will check our boxes, give the error message, and ultimately display the calculations. So now if we test our form, if I click calculate the area, it will give me the error messages, But here's my test echo, is set submit. I am testing that is set function to make sure that I can retrieve that echo when indeed I clicked on that button. Now when I click the other button, clear form, which technically is a submit button in my second form, notice that we did clear those error messages out. And there is my test, is set clear. So by placing this button inside another group of form tags, you isolate it from this form, and you can execute some PHP code when this button is clicked.